Well, hello, and I'm sorry that we haven't been able to be as normal service hasn't transpired over the last 4 or 5 weeks. A number of crises put paid to that, and now we're in the biggest crisis I'm ever gonna see, because basically from now on I have zero income. Our family has zero income. We have shares in a company that deals with pubs in London, and we've always managed to have a very good return from that. That's obviously knocked on the head. With government intervention, there's definitely going to be nothing for shareholders there. And then the electrical business, been a number of sort of eatery stroke leisure stroke what do they call it, hospitality, I suppose, commercial projects. I'm owed a lot of money from that. The main crisis which put paid to videos coming out has been hardware. The computer I'm using at the moment, or I was using, was this. It's an old gaming computer I bought from a lady who wore a full burqa up in southwest London about 5 or 6 years ago. So the thing's about 15 years old. It's only got 65 gigabytes on its C drive. It's a RAID drive, so it is quite quick, but it doesn't have a lot of storage. The storage I have on an external hard drive there, and I was using my laptop with that. The laptop's just got slower and slower, and I don't know what was causing that problem. This computer seems to be okay, but what happened was I lost a whole hard drive of stuff. At the same time, I got a GoPro Hero 5 and this Nikon, which is the one model up from one I was using, which had massive slippage issues on the audio. I don't know if this one, how this one's performing, but the GoPro footage is incredibly slow to upload and convert, and it all needs converting before I use it on the Wondershare Filmora 9 that I use for editing. So the GoPro, I used it a bit. It flickers in LED light. There's loads of glitches and stuff that I didn't know about with GoPro, and it's not an easy thing to just start using and feed into the normal footage. Well, I thought it would just be the same as using my normal camera, and it's not. So I just became so disheartened with the whole thing, and I had a bit of footage, you know, piling up, that I just couldn't face it. And also I just had to get jobs finished because I hadn't done any invoicing since December, and time was getting on and I needed cash. I took a loan out for the business, and therefore I was in a bit of a race to get it all paid off again. And now we're into this scenario. I still have the loan out, and as from this week, because this is Monday now, I'm down in the office making phone calls, trying to get payment holidays and whatnot. I'll tell you about it in a bit. I had bad vibes coming from, I had really bad vibes, so I really started stressing out. And then of course the pubs went down in London, so that was another stream of income that was cut off, and I went into hyperdrive stress mode. Although I was still working, but I just could not concentrate. It was just so bad. So we're on Monday now and looking at possible total lockdown, so it's just so bizarre that I just... And of course I am getting my hardware, software things gradually ironed out. Computer went down again. I just took it in, brought it back again now, so it's got sound on it. That's the main reason I haven't got anything out, so my apologies for that, and I think I'm just beginning to repeat myself. So this was a doorbell install. You'd think would be pretty straightforward, except it wasn't. I think we had a Honeywell Chime, which was very intelligent, wire-free, super you know, controllable chime thing, and to mate that with a Nest doorbell. There was loads of stuff on the internet about how people had tried to do it, and I did come across a circuit diagram which actually was so badly drawn that it was ambiguous. There were 3 different wirings that circuit diagram could have taken, due to the little capacitors that have to go in with a Nest doorbell install, and the way they'd drawn them. So it was, by the end of it, it was just maddening. I think I started about midday. I didn't finish till near on 7 o'clock at night, and after a period of absolutely just randomly changing connections, we came across a connection that together, me and the client, on our smartphones, that actually worked. So that's what this video is, fitting a Nest doorbell. There was a long drilling as well, which had to be quite precise, and I can't quite remember how I did it now. It's a few weeks ago, it's about a month ago I did this. Today I am putting in a Nest Hello doorbell in this door. The consumer unit is a Hager unit in the downstairs lavatory, and there is a fan isolator there. There's no transformer in here at all, and there's no doorbell chime yet. So having looked at the depth of the stud wall, it's about that deep. The only place I can really go, luckily they've got all the neutrals and everything here as well, is to take it off the hall lighting, put the transformer the other side of this wall in a Patras box with an extending collar and a faceplate, and then drill through into this extremely narrow wall, a precise drilling from out here. So it's got its challenges, and I've quoted for 1 day, but actually I think it could possibly take me into tomorrow morning, because it's midday now. The problem is drilling from the outside into this stud wall, which is so narrow. To get into the middle of the stud wall, I need to be about here on the brick. 10mm over only leaves me, what that is, 18mm in from the edge of the brick here, which means that the mounting for the Nest is going to be really very much on the edge of the brick, where we ideally like to position it, which is here. For it, but aim for the
just before mystery hour started. I think we
mortar joint and slightly tilt it inwards.
We want them to reserve their resignations until Sheila Fogarty gets here, and then we
so that we can get it
mystery hour unmolested. But here we are, so let's crack on. 5 minutes after 12 is the time. Alison is in Banksley Peak with either a question or an answer. Alison.
Question, please.
Carry on.
I was watching Call of the Wild this week.
Well, the Jack London.
The film with Harrison Ford. The ground. Who decided it was valuable?
Do you want to know something funny?
What?
This is actually the question with which Mr. Hour started.
Oh, funny.
Yeah, I mean, genuinely, asked on air, and got so rather stupid. It wasn't quite what you said. The question was, why is gold red?
Right.
Yeah.
Valuable.
Yeah. I mean, we'll try and get an answer for you, but that is where it all began. That is where it... As I understand it, it's the softness that meant you could tool it, and therefore wear it, and we like...
So here was the centre of the stud wall, here was the inner edge of the stud wall where the plasterboard started, and here is the other side of the plasterboard. Here is the inner edge of the inner plasterboard stud wall. As you can see, I've gone from the outside of that wall in a diagonal direction. This is the centre void space of the stud wall, and this is the other edge of the stud wall. So I've come through in that at that angle, and now so the rod's come through about central, which is where we want it. These are only 5mm alligator plugs. Hardly ever use 5mm, and stainless steel screws, which I know there's galvanic, there'll be galvanic action 20 years time between the stainless steel and the aluminium. They've got this kind of wedge shaped thing that anything is. There's a bit of a gap behind. Not sure what to do about that. Put some kind of resin in there after the cable's gone in. So I've got a twin cable in there. It's just a twin and earth, and that comes through. I've done with the super rods there. Super rods brought it through, and now I'm going up. I've got to go up to that opening there, so I'm going to try and use this, but I'm not sure how I'm going to go from there to there yet. But anyway, I'm going to use this to get down from there. Well, I succeeded in getting one of my rods stuck down there, down here. I've spent about 20 minutes fiddling around trying to hook it out. It had one of my little nets, fishing nets on it. This was quite expensive, so I fished it out. It did take me 20 minutes. I've now got this tongue all the way through. So see, I haven't disturbed these wires yet. I've pulled them in a bit, and they've all been pulled up a bit, but I've got that wire so I can get down to here to pick up the 230 for the transformer, the other side, and then also yeah, that's where I'm going from the 230, and then the 16 volts from the other side up to there. Well, this does have a hole cut in it already, so I can just twist my 1mm twin and earth onto it there. Hopefully that's enough to allow it to pull through, and then pull it through from up here. It's lucky that we had all the neutrals coming into this box here. It's a 47mm back box, which is nice and deep. So I've spurred off the lighting circuit. I've rationalised the line conductors instead of stuffing them all into the back of the light switch, which they were before, and I've earthed the new light switches, which the customer had put in himself but hadn't earthed. So feed to the bell transformer now goes out, feeding off the line using this as a junction box, and I've labelled the cable bell feed. And now dressing the cables in, they do just fit in that deep back box, which is nice. They just fit in there, and that's the advantage of using these deeper pattress boxes. Lovely cup of tea, Yorkshire Gold. Much nicer than the PG tips that we have. Okay, so here we are. So I'm going to put a collar around this. I'll show you what this is what I mean. So a collar will go on that, just to extend it out so that I can put a blanking plate on top. That's my bell transformer. I've wired in for 8 volts the chime and 12 volts the Nest Hello. I thought I had screws long enough, but that was the length I thought I had, but actually I need that length. Luckily I had some in the van to go through this and straight into the drywall box, because they have a thread in the collar as well.
An Italian trait, just saying, va bene.
Okay, I did forget to put the chime feed in through from the Nest. So I've just joined that up and I put it in here. So it's joined up in there at the back, and now I have both feeds. Feed for the chime power, 12 to 16 volts, and the feed from the Nest switch outside. So what with losing my super rod down inside the wall and that little 15-minute diversion, I've wasted best part of an hour. Well, this will probably be the last bit I film of this, because this thing's been on and off like a whore's drawers really. It turned out that the wiring diagrams that are given by Honeywell are not applicable to the doorbell, a Nest doorbell, and it's just taken a huge amount of trial and error to get it done. I suppose I started wiring it about 3:30, it's now 6 o'clock, but it does now operate that. As I say, it's just been a question of trial and error, looking at things online, but nothing seemed to work, so it's just taken hours and hours to do. So I'm not just now trying to get the collar on nice and tight by pulling these fittings up, and then I've got to skedaddle and clear up. The next videos after the Nest doorbell, the completion of the Art Deco building with all its various new boards, and there's an EICR for a restaurant, basically a club bar and restaurant, that turned out to be a big EICR, a bit biggish. Took me about 3 weeks to do. That's every Monday when they were closed, so it took me about 3 days to do, and so that's going to go up shortly, hopefully. we'll go from there. Got a few quotes to do. We'll see what transpires, but it's just nice to be back. It's a relief to think that I am finally getting something else out there.